Hey guys, I was just outside and I came across a spider's web and walked through it. So obviously I've got nothing to show you, but the experience got me thinking maybe I should have a bit of a chat about animals like spiders that most of us have fears about. We all have animals that we love. We all have animals that we classify as our favourites. We all have a strong bond, for example, with dogs or cats or dolphins or horses or animals that inspire us or make us feel calm or excite us, or but what about the animals that don't fill us with those sorts of feelings? What about animals like snakes and spiders or sharks? And for some people, horses and birds. Like, people fear all sorts of animals for all sorts of different reasons, but what's with that? Why are these animals in our life, and what are they trying to tell us? Well, in my world, these animals, I refer to them as shadow totems. These are animals that represent that part of ourselves that we would rather not talk about or own or acknowledge or welcome into our physical life. These animals represent those things that we suppress or push to the back of our mind, or things that we're embarrassed about or ashamed of or afraid of. So we find ourselves not fearing the animal so much, but what it represents. Does that make sense? So people who are afraid of spiders, for example, are probably fearful of making decisions for themselves or making choices that could effectively change the structure of their life web. You know what I mean? Like making decisions that put us on a different angle or a different direction, or help us to move forward, because spider, after all, helps us to achieve our dreams and helps us to weave the dream catcher, if you like. So to be afraid of spider really essentially is a fear of making choices or making decisions that bring about change. Fear of snakes can talk about a fear of addressing things from the past that no longer serve us as well, but that require more in-depth healing. Snake teaches us to transmute negative experiences into positive outcomes, or to help us find the lessons in those negative experiences. As my friend Maria says, Maria Alita, who is awesome, she once said to me that it sounds like the snake is trying to teach us to turn shit into sunshine. This works for me. It's about healing anyway. It's about letting go and shedding the stuff that no longer serves us, just like she sheds her old skin. A fear of sharks, that's my animal. I'm not really fond of sharks, and it's not that I don't like them, I just respect them enough to just not go near them. And that's because I've always had an issue with authority figures. I've always had an issue with being told what to do without an explanation, or because to me isn't a reason. Like, why can't I do that? Because that's not an answer. So I've always sort of found myself balking at authority. So I guess for me, the only animal that represents that is shark. So when I see shark, I know that there's a boundary that that's been put in place, and it's there for a reason, and I need to learn to deal with that. Anyway, just thought I'd share with you quickly and briefly that all animals have something positive to say, even if they're not animals you like. An animal that you fear basically is asking you to address some part of yourself that's not been given the chance to explain itself, or to you haven't given yourself a chance to explore deeply what's really going on in the recesses of your own mind or your heart or whatever. But it's asking you to address your shadow self. And I just thought I'd share that with you after walking through a spider's web, for God's sake. You think I would be mindful of such things, but everyone makes mistakes. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon, guys, and I really hope that little chat helped.